step in all of this is going to be doing the scripting. Actually add in rules and logic and behaviors to the objects within our game. Before we're going to move on to that, which is going to be in day 2, we want to get prepared with some content that we're going to have. So I'm going to describe the game that we're going to be building tomorrow. It's going to be a two-dimensional one, obviously. It's going to be like a top-down kind of shooter, similar in, I suppose, idea or concept to a game called Geometry Wars here. So we're going to have a ship in the center that we're going to be able to move around. We're going to be able to shoot projectiles in any direction that we want. And then later on, we're going to have other objects that kind of spawn in. But for tomorrow, we want to have some sprites created in order to do this. So we want a sprite for our player character. We want a sprite for the projectiles that we're going to shoot. And then we're going to want like a sprite for an explosion. So it's not going to be as detailed or as fancy looking as this. We want to keep it a little bit more kind of cartoony looking, I suppose. So if I were to kind of sketch this out really quickly, kind of what I would be kind of thinking, or what I'm going to have prepared for it, is some sort of circular kind of say saucer spacecraft or something like this. So we'll have like a cockpit up the top here, and maybe I could draw, you know, exhaust vents or something like that onto it, whatever you kind of want, lights, all that kind of stuff. And now, hopefully, in game, I would actually have this guy rotating around continuously. So I'm not going to try and put any too much detail of like thrusters sticking out or any of that kind of stuff. That'll be optional though. We'll be able to turn off the rotations if we want. Then the player's going to have like their thumbstick or their mouse. You're going to be able to, with the right stick, point wherever you like. So any direction whatsoever here. And then if we pull like on a trigger or click on the mouse, we want to be able to shoot projectiles in that kind of that direction. So you can go for really simple kind of circles if you want, or you can kind of create something maybe that has a bit of a trail. So you could have the idea here if you want to do static ones, or you can do like an animated one. You can even make these ball ones animated, show them rotating or something kind of similar just to show that something's alive. And then we're also going to want to have like an explosion. And what the explosion is, it's going to be playing as an animation and then disappearing. So we do want to see like a progression in how the explosion happens. So maybe you start off with something small, it kind of progresses to get something a lot bigger, you know, as in clouds and flames and whatever else you can kind of think up. And then yeah, we can kind of mess around with this. So you can leave it to get really, really big, or you can have it kind of fade out or something like that. So we'll kind of mess around with that. Just get it to the point where it's like at its biggest, and we'll see what we can do inside Unity to kind of clean this up. So that'll be the 3 tasks that we're going to need, 3 items we're going to need to build our game tomorrow. Otherwise, you're going to be left with just white images, and it's not going to look very nice. So a UFO flying saucer for the player, a bullet or a projectile that can be shot out, and finally an explosion animation that's going to play when our bullet hits things.